Well, unbelievably, we've had a visit from the director of the kitchen company, but is stuff going to get resolved? Let's wait and see, shall we? Kitchen day has arrived. There's my pile of cupboards and panels ready to fit this kitchen here. I know, kitchen's been fitted and everything. And the utility across here. Got myself set up, got my MFT in, got all my gear over there. I'm now looking through this plan to make sure I can put the right cupboards in the right place, because obviously I haven't designed it, I've had nothing to do with it at all, but I'm told that the numbers on there, look, all correspond with the plan. So I'll go through it all. I've got to make up the tall corner cupboard there, so I can't say I'm looking forward to that if I'm honest, but there we are. So I'm just going to get on with it. Well, the astute members amongst you that are watching will notice that the time lapse you've just seen was me putting together that corner cupboard. And now it's me stood here and there's more kitchen in than I've talked about. The reason for that is, and I need to tell you, I had a bit of a rubbish day that day. There was a few things that I considered weren't right with the design of the kitchen, in terms of, if you can see, that is only 15 millimetres away from the ceiling. So therefore I couldn't stand that up at all. I had to put it together, understandably, because it's a large unit and weighs a bit. So you can't have it delivered, manufactured like these are. These all come done. The doors come on them already. The pull-outs in this one, for example, that's all in, all bar the cages, which is excellent. It means for me as a fitter, it's just a bit quicker. Now that, I couldn't stand it up, didn't matter which way it went. This is a bit of an oversight in my opinion. In the end, what I had to do was, we had to, again, followers of the channel will know that above the camera, there is a 2 metre by 1 metre skylight. So myself and the customer had to put it together. We had to drag it to the skylight, lift it up, and then tentatively walk it over to here. I had to then lift it up and put the legs on it while it was vertical. So as you can imagine, that was fun. So you'll probably now realise why I haven't filmed anything. Now, Matt is currently on the stairs that we've fitted already, because I've been doing a bit of to and fro between both. A little bit on this, a little bit on that, while we were getting the stairs sorted. That's already filmed and you've already seen that already. So he stood behind the camera, smirking his head off, knowing what I wound up, I've been about it, because he's had to take it in his ear hole.
Don't cry.
So I went ahead, fitted this. I've then fitted the two end panels on into here. Now these aren't forward like I normally do, 20 mil, because when the corner door goes on, it would catch that if it stuck out. So these are set back, and I've led a little bit, a couple of mil, just to break up the fact that this is darker than the actual finished panel. All I've done then is, this is the fridge freezer housing. Now this is true handleless, so you'd have seen these before when we fitted Adam's kitchen. If you haven't seen that kitchen, if I can find the thumbnail, it's on the screen now. When we fitted this, we had to do a 35mm packer at the back of this cupboard, which equates to what's on the back of this, and then these get screwed together. Like I say, these doors are already on. This is the microwave and oven housing, and this is a pull-out. That's all done. I've decided to put the camera back on, first of all because we like to show you the progress of what's going on this channel, and this is obviously one of the main ones, fitting the kitchen, ready for the customer to start getting back to normality. Next oversight. Here, I've already mentioned, we're 15-20mm away from the ceiling. Now they're having the lovely bifold doors on the wall cupboards, which I like because I've got them myself. Lift them up. However, the bifold doors go approximately 200mm above the top of the top box, right? So again, those clever people amongst you and the people that can really see it because it's obvious, if I allow that to open, it's going to smash into the ceiling. So I've had to speak to Blum, who manufacture the top box hinges, and they've said that you can buy a part that stops the door going past 83 degrees. So when it's open, it'll stop almost like that. There's the top of the cupboard, stop like that, which will solve this problem. But then the door is sort of down here then. So what I'm gonna have to do now, take all the doors off, the bifold doors off, hang all these wall cupboards now, and then allow me to then carry on with the base unit. So I'm gonna stop talking now, but I just need to explain why you haven't seen any of this happen. I'm gonna get on, put the radio back on, and tune myself back up again. Wall cupboards are on, quite simple, especially when you've got help from somebody over there. No, hang on, is he? Oh, he's down the garden. All I've got to do now is just show you up close, is I've got to put these metal caps on, and that covers the holes there that allow you to hook it onto the wall and then adjust. Now, if I can go in like that, you can just about see. The bottom hole is the one that makes it go up and down. I can't hold it very still, can I? Let me just try and steady myself. The bottom hole makes it go up and down, and the top hole pulls it into the wall. Now what you need to do, bit of a tip if you like, when you're tightening your top one to pull it into the wall, you need to keep an eye on, tighten it so far, and then check your levels, because you need to make sure that these are level. And this is all flush at the front as well. So just do it sort of bit by bit, clamp it in, and before you fire it all the way home, just make sure you are lower or higher than, or at the point you need to be, should I say. Because what happens is, as soon as you clamp that tight, it has got the tendency to sort of kick up a little bit when it clamps tight. So therefore, if you've overcompensated on your, or lifting the cupboard up, you could then be above this point and have to readjust it all. So just be careful. So all you do with these, they've just got a bit of a ledge on the back there, look. And you just push it into there. He says, trying to do it one-handed, and he's got to cut the back of there now. There we are. And that just clamps onto there like that, and that just pushes in, finishes it off nice. You've seen me take these off. Now, if you can see, if I let that go, it's going to clatter into the ceiling. That's what I've had to take it off for. See, shouldn't be doing that, because that's not even all the way up either. But these just clip off the face of the doors, look. A bit like the hinges clip off. And then you can adjust these. And I've spoke to Blum, who are the manufacturer of these hinges, and you can get a little, like he called it, what did he call it? A wedge, angle wedge. And you can actually stick it into here, I'm presuming. So what happens is that door then stops at 83 degrees, which I think's about there. It must go in the top there somewhere. But I'll wait and see when I get that, because I've never had to that before, because I've never had this issue before. I'm gonna call it an issue. It looks lovely, now it's up. You know, cornice and pelmet, that's, you know, that's old school now, I think. I think the modern ones look quite nice, two handleless, looks lovely. There we are. So I'll get the rest of these caps on. Matt has now finished the plastering down there. So when I'm doing this and pointing down there, you've already seen this installed, but in this video, we're doing it at the same time. So there we are, we'll crack on with this then, and I'll get these base units in then as well. Okay, quite a bit of time lapse there. I've got to think which order we did things now. Okay, so we put these cupboards in, and you will see that underneath here, we've got the waste pipe under there, which goes into that corner. So we've set it on timbers to making sure there's a good fall on it, and I've stuck it to the ground because I can't screw it, because obviously this is not underfloor heating. Put brackets on and made sure that it's got a fall and set it to the fall there, and then I've cut a hole in the base unit there, look, and the silver fall that you can see just in there is actually the pipe that I've blanked off, just so there's no smell. I've set this part on some packers, just because, if you don't know, this floor is going to be plywooded over the top, and we set that screed higher to match this screed, and the floor layer is coming tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, and then what we've done in here is we have set the 400 larders either side, and you've just seen me last thing in the time lapse there, putting that in. I made that tight enough, friction fit, so I could push it in, I could hold it up on my own. Yes, I could have put timber across the back and I could have used the clips, but there's no real need. It went in, it was fine. These are both levelled in first, they're both parallel to each other, and it pushed in, and I've put 4 screws in each side, and that will be more than enough to carry that. Okay, my next jobs are then, I've got to take the back off this cupboard, despite speaking to the kitchen company and saying, can you do a removable panel on that? They've done the sink unit, it's on Q-clips, which is excellent, but they haven't done that one, which is a shame because that would have been nice as well. However, the customer's given me some magnetic clips, so I can take the panel off before I fit that cupboard and then screw it back in with the magnetic clips. So that's that. And then in here we have got two spaces for appliances. So I've got to put an end panel on there first now. Then my 600 space panel, 600 space, and then I don't know on the drawing if they've allowed a panel to go on the side of that as well. Don't know, I'll have to check that. And then there'll be a scribe at that end there. This is for, if you haven't guessed, the American fridge freezer, which is sat there. That'll go into there lovely. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these doors back on, get them out of the way so they're nice and safe, because they are currently sat in the cupboard over there, look. And when I've done that, I shall get that cupboard set up, get my levels right from the bottom of this one, put that in first, and it gives me something to level to or level across to make sure the top of the panels are right as well. It's because they're having quartz or granite, we want to make sure it's nice and flat. I don't want to be chasing a thickness of 18 mil across there to put that into suit. So I'd rather not do that. So that's what I'm going to do now. So then what I might do is I'm going to put these in position there for the island, and then when the screeding's done, at least he can overboard this as well, because this has been overboarded, and that has been overboarded as well, to have the same flooring all through here, all through here, all in there, and all in there, which will look lovely. Oh, and also in the basement as well. You might not have seen all this, I didn't, especially the doors, because Matt, the plasterer, phoned me about another job, and we were talking for quite some time, and I tried to keep going while I was talking, so ultimately we missed a little bit of this. However, what I have done, if you didn't catch it on the time lapse, I have made sure I've centralised myself on that. So the centre of that cupboard now, which with the hob, is centre of that. So I've now got about 880 there, which is a good space, good width to walk through. And then I've centralised myself between that door and that wall, got a centre point, and then because there's going to be a breakfast bar, I've then gone 450 and 450 either side to make sure that that door and that door is exactly the same distance as from that wall to the end of the overhang. So that then is 300 mil bigger, 320 because it's got no panel at the moment, so that's 320 mil bigger at the minute than that space is there. So that is great. I'll put my packers on the floor again, just to bring myself up the same height. Same as I did on that far cupboard there. So I got my power pack, sorry. It's gone off. Time lapse smashes the battery. So I've got this set ready, so at least this can now be latexed tomorrow, or whatever he's screed or whatever he's not screed, I think it's latex he's doing, just to take out, I think if you can see it on the, see that's the dapple bars, that is, the dapple bobbies for the concrete. It's little tiny ridges, and I mean tiny, but the floor layer isn't happy that you won't see that through the couple of mil vinyl, so fair play to him. He's going to run a thin latex over the top of that, just to make sure we can't see it. Then he's going to put a piece of ply down here, all the way across here, a piece of ply across there, although I'm going to clear this for him now so we can get in and do all this ply and ply all that tomorrow. So I'll speak to the lads, see whether they're interested in being on our channel, or at least showing what they are doing on our channel, should I say. And you may see some of the floor going down, which will be really great. That'd be quite nice to see this space properly transformed by the end of the week. I did get my cupboard in there. I take the back off it. However, what I have noticed, they've put the Q-clips on the back of this drawer unit. Why, I don't know, other than to maybe get a fix in the middle to put the back panel on, but then that'll be to here. So maybe that's why they've done it. But ultimately what I could do now, I could take that out and put the Q-clips on that cupboard there, which means I'm then going to mess about with magnetic catches, and ultimately it's a bit stronger as well, so I might put my Q-clips on here instead. And that one there, because this one won't go anywhere now because it's been held by the two cupboards either side, I could take that out. I could do what I need to do in terms of fixing a bracket there and there to hold the middle of this decor end panel, which goes on the end, and then just put that back on and literally screw it to the back of the panel if I wanted to, or pocket screw it or whatever, and I can use these. If you don't know what these are, it's just like a male and female. That's the female bit, that's the male bit, and it goes inside there, and then you push it together like that, and they are called Q-clips. Very clever. So there we are then. I am going to move all this lot now to make sure we are ready for the floor layer tomorrow. And then when you see me next, I'll be putting the panels in there and trying to keep out the floor layers way. And this will look a lot tidier. Floor layers are here today. We stopped late last night and got everything tidied up. I'll show you that in a minute. But I've come in first thing this morning and done things like cut the top off the stringer, ready to go so they can run the floor around it a lot tidier. And then what we did then downstairs was, you may remember we've already done the base rail downstairs for the stud to form the cloak toilet, but I've cut the doorway out of that now and put the return base rail under the stairs because we know where that's going, and secured that with some glue, which means they can latex against it, and I know my base rail won't move now. Doesn't that look a big space? Now it's all tidy. In fact, if I come back you see even more. That's all completely tidy and ready for the floor layers. All in there, it's all tidy. And that being a 900 panel for the back of that cupboard, decor end panel, you can see the sort of full sort of impact of where that's going to be, and it looks really tidy. I'm really pleased with that. It's worked out really well. Right then, I'm a bit tight in here now, so I'm going to have to move stuff. I'll put it on my trolleys to move stuff out the way to then put stuff back in again. So I'll put that panel on first, and then I'll level that one in, fix it, and then put all the panels in on there. New day. This is all latexed in the basement. I couldn't get down here and it became difficult to do any filming really, because as you are aware, I've been pushed into here to allow them to get done, and I just couldn't put stuff anywhere. And then they were using this door once that was done down there, which was first thing in the morning. So you've seen a little bit of footage. So on that footage, if I can explain, I have and then outside the footage as well, in fact, because I didn't think I filmed it all, I have put this on here, this bottom bit here, which then gives you that, which looks really nice. I have put that pan in there, and what I've done is I have put sticks like on all the back of that, on the cut edge, and on the bottom. The bottom I'll leave as manufactured edge, and this edge that's the raw edge, then when the granite people come, or quartz, they will put silicone on that, so I'm happy with that, will be sealed. Because it's a standalone panel, I've put 4 brackets down at the back just to hold it in place. And then, as I said, I've already put the sticks like on. And then what I've done is I've put 2 bits of timber at the bottom as a spacer to make sure it holds itself right, because you don't want it to go off and then it be in the wrong place. This cupboard's all done. And what I did was I put my Q-clips on down there, which you've already seen, I believe. And then I've put my panel on there. Now that was meant to be a 30mm wide, but it was like 601 for each of these spaces then. So I've pulled it over and put 1 panel in there to make sure these spaces for standalone appliances is wider. Then what I've done is, you will see there's a hole just there. I have put, let me take that out of there, that's a bit of a panel. I've cut the shelf down there, and then just as a friction fit, the waste is behind there for the washer, because we don't want to see that. So that's why that's there. I'll take that out of there while I think about it. And that's it, I've done my scribe there. You saw me on the time lapse doing this scribe. All I did was I put a piece down the side, fixed it, and then used my, what they're called? Oh, they're on the screen now. I used these then to fix onto it to get my scribe to the wall, and then scribe this to the wall, albeit it was only 2mm, a little bit of a bump in the middle, but I used it anyway. And then I ran it all the way down to the floor. Again, I've left 5 off the floor there, so when they do the latex it doesn't touch it. But again, I'll say it again, I always put my manufactured edge to the bottom so it's sealed. And when I say manufactured edge, I mean that edge. I don't put that edge to the bottom, that edge goes to the top. So again, no moisture can be drawn up through that, especially with it being MDF. So we are done in here. My plan now is to get into here. Now this has been latex, they did this last thing last night. Talked about this, they were going to get plywood there and get plywood here, latex this. So I'm going to get into here now, and I can get as much done in here as I physically can. That door and shelves, that scribe panel, that scribe panel, that scribe panel, and put the metal true handleless stuff on there. And on these drawers as well, which is quite nice. I should do that. if you just look at that then, these clips I put on first. You have got to put them on first. If you don't, it's a bit of a pain. You saw me slide that little bit there into the channel, and then you push that on it, and it tightens it up. And if you mark where these are first, you can do it on the bench like I've just done. Now there is pre-drilled holes in the side of these, but you've got to be careful, because depending on how these have been routed out, you can sort of see some of them are a bit not the best. So I wouldn't necessarily go for the pre-drilled holes. I'd look at it yourself and then manipulate it yourself so it's nice and tidy like that. If you sit it where the pre-drill holes are, they're a bit further forward, you made a clamp them in, so just be careful of that. That's all you'd really do. You mark where they are, put them in position. Oh, sorry, come around again. And you just screw them into the side of the cupboard, and then that holds that in place like that. And sometimes jobs just cost you money. Look what I've just done. Struggling trying to hold it and clamp it and pre-drill it. Went through the face, so there we are. So the floor layers are cracking on. They've just prepped all this floor. Ian, scratch coat did you say? Scratch coat of the joints and the fixings. Is that what you said?
Well, yeah, just feather finishing over.
Feather finish over the joints and the fixings.
That's it, mate, yeah.
Nice one. That's what they've done. So they've overboarded all the floors, and you've just heard him say, they've feather edged all the joints and then all the fixings, and then they sand it off with their little buffer over there. Again, this is all prepped. This was all latex. It is latex, isn't it, Reggie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Latex all this as well, just to get a better feather finish onto the new floor. And they're just waiting for this to dry now, so they can start doing the floor. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step over here without disturbing them, and I'm going to show you down here, because this is already done. And what a difference this makes down here now. Talk about taking all the glory off the job. Look at that. How good's that? In fact, let me just put these lights on. I think it's that one. Yes, it is. There we are. Lovely. All the speakers in the scene, look. And how good does that look? I'm about to start that stud because I've now finished the kitchen. But it's been a struggle to film, as you can see. There's a lot going on, so I'll just do a little update for you in a minute. But this is where we are. All through here, look. And what I haven't shown you there is the media wall. You've only seen it when we plastered it. Look at that for a media wall. The customer's done that. It looks really, really good. I think he was thinking it's an all right job, but you know what, he can come into my media wall, that's a great job, that is. And then what he's done is, he's then decided to put his little steps in as well and then finish all this off. When I left, it was just got the framing, but yes, that's a great job. Right then, I'm now going to do that. I will pop upstairs later on once the lads are out of the way and show you the where we are with the kitchen utility. But for now, I'm going to crack on with that under there. The last bit of time lapse of this episode then, all that studs up, and what I've then done off camera is I've made up the roof there, so Matt can then run an angle piece in there and then he'll do a roll or whatever he'll decide to do there. Just took the structure off the stairs there and then put some strappers on there, a couple of noggins in there, look, noggin at the top to carry that. The two outer ones are into the stringer, and this one is a bit of an extra to carry the board when it comes around the corner. Don't want to give Matt any grief when he comes back, other than, oh, I've just noticed he might have to cut that board back just to get to the centre of that, to put that board on, but that's not a problem. Or he can just tack some bits on that we've got. Then what I've done is every other tread, other than the top two, I'll fix the timber, make sure I've gone into the centre of the tread, all the way down there, every other one, and then fix two laths then, which are, what am I going to say? Yes, which are 600 centres, sorry, to there. So we can board that. Now that has brought that flush now, but there's an idea just to maybe put a bit of a bead on this to run it through, and then overboard this with a oak veneered plywood, which I think will look quite nice. So to finish it off, and then I've just spoken to our joiner. I normally do it, but time's pressing on and other jobs are awaiting, so we've got a joiner that we use every so often that does things like doors, frames, skirtings, architraves, pull out understairs stuff. He designs all that and manufactures all that himself, and he's going to do, I think he might do this for us as well, this last bit of bar area. I'll put the link to, if he's got a website or a Instagram or something, I'll put it in the description. He's in the West Midlands area, so if you've got any joinery work specifically, give him a call. Or contact us and I'll pass the details on. So yes, that's that. I've got Matt's boards ready for him there, a couple of pink ones for underneath that stairs, and then we'll foam it in, and then we'll, like I say, we'll just clad it over with the oak ply, and the boards are in there for all around that. Let's go and have a look upstairs at the sort of finished article, albeit, as you will have guessed from the start of the video, we're not finished, but we have got resolution. We are waiting for the 900 panels to go on the end of there, to then cover up the customer's idea, which I think is a good idea. You can't sit down the side of it then to your stools. I quite like it, makes it look nice and tidy. You can push your stools out the way, nothing can be seen. So I like the idea of that. We are awaiting for another piece of that I damaged. However, they are going to send that to us for free. That's nice, isn't it? Since I damaged it. Resolution for this cupboard is, sort of makes sense. And if you're thinking it's a weird colour, it's because there's still the covering on there. It's actually the same colour as this, the grey. It's because it's got the protective coating on still, because of the dust. So what he's telling us is, that's designed like that, so you can walk into it. Makes loads of sense, so you can get to the back. What he's telling me then, you've got to put a piece of plinth on there square, and then you've got to screw a piece of plinth to the door as well. So when you look like that, it looks like a plinth going across the front. And then obviously when you open it, you've then got the space to walk in and get to the back of your cupboards, which makes sense. And I've got to say, and this is by no means a defence for myself, thinking it was wrong and the design was wrong. If you've got all the parts there, you can see that bit of timber, that bit of this, put it all together, your own mind, you can then work out what it's meant to look like. Apparently what I'm missing is, what he was telling us was, there's a timber that goes on here, and it sort of cocks it round this way, so it brings it back to 90 degrees, and that's where those pistons goes for the touch to open, which again makes sense. If I'd got those, you think, oh, okay, that does that, that does that. Well, of course it does. I wouldn't have thought about the plinth on the door because I've never had that before, ever. And I've fitted a couple of these before, but not from this company. And it's never been like that, but maybe they weren't that deep. I don't know, maybe they were just 600 sort of, I don't know, can't remember. But I don't remember that design. But if you don't fit the same kitchen, same company every time, then their designs are different. It is a good idea, I can understand that. So there we are, that's the resolution for that. I'm yet to put the doors on the fridge because the sparkers are in there, and it's actually, I think it's doors that fit to the fridge, not hinged on the cupboard. So I'm going to leave that. I haven't done the dishwasher yet because I couldn't get in here anyway because they were doing the floor. All the plinths are on, apart from that one in there. And in here is complete. That's just the doors for in the kitchen. And that's the, obviously, spaces for those appliances which won't go in yet until the sparky's been. Bit of storage up there for the extra panels. And I've got to say, talk about taking the glory off the job. The floor looks very, very good. You've already seen downstairs. They're going to go into the hallway, into the cupboards and that area there, and then into here, where the log burner is. That's tomorrow's job. But that looks lovely. And what the plan is here, they've got this Very smart, aluminium, but it's real wood veneered oak capping, and that'll go on there like that when they put it down. Doesn't that look smart? And that ties in lovely with the stairs. Yes, and I've done all the way around there as well. They're going to put a square edge, and I think it's an oak square edge capping all around there as well, but decided not to do it on the front of that step because it looked a bit chunky on the top of the step, which is a good idea. They will latex this tomorrow, so all this can just come out, and then they'll do the steps, and then that'll be done in a couple of days' time. So hopefully, if all goes well with the kitchen company and they stick to their word of sending everything out to us, that gets sorted, and when I come back it's all here. We can do all of that, and I can show you a quick spin round again of it all completely finished, and that'll be fantastic. Right, on to the next job then.